Mr. Rajesh Jyotikumar Parekh, Assistant General Manager, Sustainability and Compliance, Amara Raja Group, engineering and management professional with more than 30 years of experience in ESG and sustainability, quality management, environment management, health and safety management, and he will be sharing his valuable knowledge on the topic embedding sustainability across the business. Over to you, Mr. Rajesh.
First of all, I would like to thank GCPIT and Mr. Santosh and the entire team for giving me this opportunity to speak in such a wonderful forum amongst distinguished sustainability and other professionals from other domains. Since we have a short window for such a big topic, I would not waste my time in introducing myself, since you have already introduced me. Sustainability, as we all know, is a broad policy concept, in the global public discourse, and it is often conceived in terms of the three dimensions or the three pillars, as we call them, the E, S, and G: the environmental performance, the social performance, and the economical performance of an organization. And nowadays, we also, synonymously use the terms ESG. So ESG and sustainability have become synonymous. So I'm not getting into the details of this because I see other speakers have already, spent a lot of time and spoken about what is sustainability, what is ESG, and the importance of sustainability and ESG to any business and any organization. Now, if just to quickly set a context, if we talk about the sustainability developments in India, we see there are a lot of regulatory and compliance related requirements coming in with respect to ESG disclosures. Like the top 1,000 companies today have to come out with their BRSR reports, the business social responsibility reports. If we talk about the markets, there are a lot of ESG-linked funds, ESG-linked funding, which is taking place. Investments with respect to ESG are fast gaining traction in India. Climate commitments. We all know that India is also at the forefront of, making commitments with respect to, our net zero pledges, reducing the carbon footprint of our country as a whole. And many of our, most of our organizations, businesses are also equally committing to the net zero targets that the entire world is setting up, right? Also, a lot of global multinational companies which are operating in India, they have their own sustainability and ESG targets, and they want their Indian counterparts, their Indian supply chain partners, business partners to also comply and commit to this E, S, and G related commitments. So these are all the important developments that are taking place. We all know, as a Indian company, there is a business case for why Indian companies should, adopt best sustainability practices and give a lot of impetus on implementing sustainability within their organization, right? As we have discussed in the previous sites, a lot of focus is given by rating agencies. A lot of focus is given by the investment community with respect to the performance of a company vis-a-vis the environment, social, and governance performance, the sustainability performance. And a lot of investors are investing into sustainable businesses. We have a lot of indices which are sustainability specific for investors. So this, along with other benefits like sustainable company, a company which is which practices sustainability will always have a, competitive advantage by combining its operational efficiencies. It gives organization or businesses opportunities to enter new markets in line with the always, changing customer preferences. Access to capital markets and, lower cost of funding. Most of the companies who, go for mergers, acquisitions, inorganic growth along with organic growth, they require a lot of funds to fund those ventures and projects. So a company which has a good sustainability performance, which has a good standing in the market, will always have access to easy capital, at the same time capital at a lower interest rate or a lower cost. And one of the important, benefits is also that this allows companies to manage their risks. There is one slide I have, after a couple of slides, which talks about the material risks that an organization or a business faces today in this dynamic business environment. So if we have an appropriate sustainability management system, businesses will be able to manage these risks as well as, convert these risks into opportunities. So that's another aspect. And right, one of other important case I would say is a sustainable company, a good company having a good sustainability image will always be able to attract and retain quality talent. So more and more employees today are, preferring to work for those companies which demonstrate, responsible behavior and a proper purpose. And as I said, regulatory compliance, because compliance requirements are going to be more and more stringent. It started with top 100 companies with market capitalization, top 100 companies with market capitalization. Today, it has been extended to 1,000, and I'm sure in the near future, all limited companies or all Indian businesses will have to, have sustainability systems and report their sustainability performance vis-a-vis the ESG parameters. It's already happening in Europe, and I'm sure it's going to happen in India very soon. Now, coming to the subject which I am asked to speak on, embedding sustainability into an organization or into a business, right? It is, we have discussed, many businesses today do recognize the importance of sustainability and have made it a priority, but actually putting, the concept into practice isn't that easy. There are many challenges, there are barriers, and it just can't be simply added to existing strategies and processes. And sustainability also cannot be implemented in silo. It has to be embedded into the existing business. It has to be, infused into the blood of an organization. Okay, right? So a recent survey, I mean, there are a lot of surveys. One of the surveys found that 2/3 of consumer products company executives believe a sustainability or a sustainable supply chain will always become a competitive differentiator. So again, that is one of the advantage. And the same percentage also said that having a clear purpose is very, very critical for a company's long-term success. Now, as I said, organization faces a lot of challenges and barriers. There are difficulties while implementing sustainability or embedding sustainability into your existing systems. One, there is definitely going to be an additional cost of implementing sustainability. There is going to be a lot of compliance requirements which we need to understand, which we need to comply to. Certain barriers are there with respect to even regulatory policies. For example, if an organization in a certain state today even wants to invest in renewable energy, there are certain caps on how much rooftop solar, capacities you can implement, how much you can bank to the discoms and so on. So there are a lot of complete regulatory related challenges faced by organizations as well. Then comes the supply chain, the value chain, a lot of challenges in bringing the entire value chain and supply chain in line with uh, your own business code of practices, sustainability practices, and lack of resources, lack of knowledge, lack of competent people available with the knowledge on domain knowledge on sustainability and other issues, technology, methods. So these are various challenges and difficulties that businesses face when they decide to embed sustainability in their organization. As I said, there are a lot of material risks. Now, I'm not going to get into this because I'm sure other speakers must have discussed on the material risks which organization faces, vis-a-vis sustainability, environmental, social, governmental, governance related, leadership related, human capital related, operational risks, and so on. Now, simply put, I would say there are 5 ways of embedding sustainability in organization or a business. The number one is to strategy. Impact sustainability has on your company's brand and work culture, can open the door to new opportunities, as I said earlier, and long-term growth for you. But achieving those benefits requires, making some certain fundamental changes to the way we strategize, the way we plan, the way we design our products, our workplaces, the way we manufacture, the way we operate, and the way we maintain our processes. Right? So it starts with incorporating sustainability into the organization or the businesses goals, the vision, their businesses' own values, the corporate mission, by addressing environmental, social, and governance related impacts. This may require an analysis of our current goals, objectives to uncover the gaps, and then embed sustainability related goals, objectives, targets into the system. For this, the corporate stakeholders, the top management, the board needs to be, bought in. They need to be on board with an understanding that sustainability is just not a compliance requirement today, but it is also a means to achieve competitive advantage. So as a business, we need to define our vision, mission statements, and our values vis-a-vis sustainability. That's number one. Number two, we need to put in place a formal organizational structure, a formal sustainability structure, right? We need to determine where the decision-making authority within the organization lies, create executive positions like maybe nowadays you see most of the companies have chief sustainability officers, sustainability divisions at the corporate level, at site levels. So create such kind of a structure, create top level sustainability councils or committees which meet periodically to discuss sustainability related issues, risks, opportunities, performance, and so on, right? So there are many ways in which companies can implement their sustainability strategies and structure across companies. And these companies will, the strategy can vary from company to company depending on the sector and industry and geographies in which we work. Typically, sustainability crosses levels of management as well as the various functional groups within an organization. Each level of management within the firm will play a different role in the management of sustainability and will address specific purposes. Now, once the structure is set, then comes the processes. So we need to define the horizontal as well as the vertical flow of information, right, within the organization structure vis-a-vis sustainability. Right? Processes define how things function in the context of the overall sustainability. Right? For example, how we are going to, collect data with respect to the indicators on environment, social governance, then how we are going to report, how we are going to vet those data, how we are going to report this data and our performance, how we are going to set key performance indicators, targets, goals. Then we need to have formal systems. We need to define and formalize various SOPs or standard operating procedures, on how we are going to measure and report our data and performance, define various platforms for periodic reviews and exchange of ideas vis-a-vis sustainability. So all this will be part of, the process. Then advanced analytics can also help, in spotting risks in environmental impact, labor practices, and all the other domains within sustainability that a company can take action and mitigate to. So nowadays, a lot of softwares are available, to help businesses in formalizing these systems. Okay. A data-driven approach can provide a way, in which to demonstrate sustainable business practices to your customers, to which supports growth. Partners, regulators also are looking for evidences and proofs of your sustainability. They would not tolerate, mere lip services on sustainability and what nowadays we hear called the very common term called greenwashing. So a data-driven approach will always help you to provide that evidence and confidence to all the stakeholders. Get a clear view in order to take action. Now, this is also one of the important, points under the process approach that we can have. Embedding sustainability throughout an organization requires, the visibility into performance metrics like resource use. So as I said, we can also, make use of energy audits, water balance audits, safety audits. There are a lot of community assessments available to identify the needs of community, impact assessment studies to, study the impact of our corporate social responsibility projects. So all this would become part of our process approach and are very, very important in order for a business to, embed and demonstrate this embedment in the organization sustainability. People, very, very important aspect again, right? So it is very important. The people across all the levels, are important, and we need to get their buy-in. Unless we get the buy-in from the people within the organization, couple of, couple of members in the sustainability team are not going to be able to drive sustainability across the organization. Influence and build the organization's human resource, through recruitment, promotion, rotation of people, training, capacity building, development of people, mentoring of people, all vis-a-vis sustainability. So there must be a lot of emphasis, a lot of programs in order to influence people, in order to get people on board and buy the idea and have that, ownership, as we say. Building capacity within the organization at different levels is, paramount for the successful implementation. If we don't, if we fail in this aspect, we are not going to achieve our vision, mission, and goals. And then finally, report your performance. So today, there are various platforms available to report organization or businesses sustainability performance. We have the sustainability reports. We have various standards. We have the Global Reporting Initiative. We have the SASB. We have TCFD. We have, the Carbon Disclosure Project, CDP. We have those sustainability development goals. So there are various avenues available. And of course, if we talk of the Indian context, we have the BRSR. So it is imperative for us for any business to report its sustainability performance in a transparent way, in a balanced way, without, any greenwashing, and let the stakeholders know the performance of your organization, the future plans of an organization, the continual improvement which an organization can demonstrate through its sustainability reporting. Right? So these are the 5 simple ways I would say in which an organization or a business can, embed sustainability in its system. So that's all from my side.
Sir, I'd like to ask few questions. My first question will be, as a global leader, how do you design ESG and SDGs from large and diverse corporate perspective?
See, we don't design SDGs. SDGs are goals which are already been set. So as an organization or as a business, we need
Can
to
you,
yeah.
Okay, can you please define it?
SDG is our sustainability development goals, which the United Nations have, set for the entire planet, for the globe to be achieved, by 2030. So there are some 17 number of goals which encompass the entire umbrella of, the economics of the globe, the environmental performance, governance related issues. Like for example, there are goals on how to alleviate poverty, how to provide clean and clean drinking water, fresh water to each and every citizen of the globe, to improve the lifestyle of people, provide infrastructure, and so on. So there are 17 different goals vis-a-vis, covering various aspects of human development, infrastructure development, and meeting the basic needs of individuals, including human rights, labor rights, women rights, and so on. So as a business leaders, we need to, we need to design our sustainability approach in such a way that we align our sustainability with all the sustainability goals which the United Nations have set. And this can also be demonstrated through the sustainability report, which I was mentioning as, one of the strategies.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question will be, future of impact investment in India.
Well, impact investment is definitely is going to have a great future in India, because India is now is a one of the leaders in the capital markets and one of the economic powerhouses now. So we are not aloof to what's happening in Europe or all the developed societies. So definitely we are very much going to be part of the global impact investment chain.
Thank you for your answer. My next question is, how do CXOs strategies sustainability in business model?
I correct me if I'm wrong. I heard CSO, right?
CXO, X, CXO, X for Christmas.
What does the X stand for? Because I haven't come across it honestly.
Okay, so
CXO.
CXOs is basically, it may be Chief Executive Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief, any chief.
Oh,
Chief
X.
strategy.
So
It
X
is called
stands for.
CXOs. CXOs.
Yeah, so you see, most of the organizations and companies in their boards, they have, they, at the top level, they have the chief finance officers, chief financial officers, chief executive officers, chief sustainability officers, marketing officers, procurement officers, commercial officers, and so on. So as I said earlier, in when I was discussing point number one, strategy. So it's very important that the buy-in and the thrust for sustainability comes from the top level. They have to buy the concept. They have to strategize their strategies of the respective functions they had vis-a-vis sustainability. When I said we need to have a sustainability council, for example, so all these CXOs must be members of this council, and decisions vis-a-vis sustainability should be collectively taken through brainstorming, brainstorming, assessing risks, opportunities. So they have a big role to play, and within their individual line functions, it is their responsibility to drive down sustainability.
Will you name it?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answer. My next question will be some of the unique initiatives under ESG.
Unique, I mean, ESG.
Some of the initiative under ESG or sustainability as part of your company. Some of the unique initiative, which probably maybe may not have been taken care in any other industry or any other parts of the world or something.
Well, see, I'll tell you, as far as the company which I represent currently, if you see the beginning of this company itself, our founders were very well settled in the US. I mean, they came down to India with a sole purpose of, touching upon the lives of rural India. And that's where we started in 1985 in, a small place, a barren land in Chittoor district. Today, one of the uniqueness that we have, I am very proud to say, is that we have 16,000 employees in our organization, direct employees, and all of them are on the roll of the company. We hardly have any contract workers, which is the normal trend in all the businesses in India. Each and everyone who works for us is on our company roll and gets all the benefits that all of us get. So that is one uniqueness. And our products itself, our products, if you see, when we brought Amaron brand into India, the product was unique. The technology was unique. And even today we spend a lot of efforts and resources in our product design. We are coming up with a mega factory, on the lithium technology now in Telangana. So we have installed we already have 70 megawatts of solar installed at our plants. And unfortunately, because in Andhra Pradesh, we cannot go beyond, we have already reached the maximum capacity which we can install at our sites. So we are waiting for, policy changes and hope to increase our renewable energy pie in the entire, energy pie chart for the organization. So, and there are many more. There are many more such initiatives that we have.
Thank you. Let's see if we get some more questions. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for your time and answering with such great answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. And thank you very much, GCPIT. Thank you, Santosh, and thank you, Ananya.
Thank you.